Hello. With the exception of some recent events, such as the terror incidents in Quebec and in Parliament Hill, fortunately Canadians have very little experience firsthand with terrorism. This means we get most of our information about terrorism from the media, and mostly that's in the form of news of successful arrests or likely suspects. I wanted to see which voices were prioritized in the media and who was providing the information that Canadians were getting. So I researched 173 newspaper articles of Canadian origin, and I found that the most common speakers were political speakers, community speakers, and police speakers. As theorists like Chomsky and Hall tell us, the mediated opinions and perspectives of authorities can often heavily influence public opinion. They become normalized. So I wanted to ask, who was saying what in the Canadian media? What I found out was that police speakers, the most common speaker type, almost 26%, about 26%, spoke of law enforcement successes, such as successful arrests, law enforcement successes, and often calls to be vigilant within the community. Political speakers, 18%, talked about, they often had emotionally and rhetorically charged condemnations of terrorism as a whole, in a vague sense, and commented on the laws that govern terrorism and protect Canadians today, either supporting it or squabbling about new legislation. Community speakers were actually the second most common group at 22%, and what they offered was largely personal information. They distanced themselves from the person they formerly knew, and we're talking here about the former friends, relatives, and coworkers of the terror suspect. They distanced themselves from that person and expressed their shock and horror and surprise that this person they knew had now become a terror suspect. And with these speakers, we are only getting one piece of the pie. We're not really seeing a lot of variety, and I think having several other types of speakers more present in the media would really help. For example, academic speakers, though they only make up 7% of the total data, often offered clear, concise, and complex information about the terrorism issue at hand. Other speakers that I found, which were not commonly given any voice, were media speakers, which made up, legal speakers, which made up 11% of the media statements. Terrorist speakers, which only came in at 8%, and victim speakers at 3.5%. Maybe it would be good to give these people more voice. The end.